Week 7 is now complete, if I am not mistaken, and the Steelers played another game and won again. This time they were at Arizona, played the Arizona Cardinals in what many considered to be a rematch of Super Bowl 43, which was a good year, good times those were, when the Steelers defeated the Cardinals in the Super Bowl, I think 31-28 or something like that. Very close game, but a lot of big plays in that game. Was actually just watching highlights from the Super Bowl 43 today, actually, and watched James Harrison's 100-yard touchdown return on an interception. I thought that was a pretty crucial play in the Super Bowl. But anyway, that was then, this is now. And the Steelers, as I said, victorious again. I think the final was 32-20 at Arizona in the desert. And Steelers, I can't really complain. I mean, there are stuff that the Steelers need to get together or need to get better, and we'll get to that in a minute. But you know what? I'm not going to really complain this week because many people thought this would be a trap game. I was kind of concerned about this game. Knew the Steelers needed to win this game because then after this, we're going to have two very tough opponents, which we're going to get to in a minute. One of us already smashed us at the beginning of the season. But anyway, at any rate, Steelers needed to win. They did win. And like I said, 32-20, so pretty convincingly. I guess couple of observations. Ben Roethlisberger, very solid in this game. Didn't make any mistakes. Threw for 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Even passed the ball in situations where I didn't think they were gonna pass the ball, like late in the fourth quarter, they actually had a couple of quick slants with like 3 minutes to go. So that was pretty interesting play calling. Can't really complain about it. Also, finally, the defense caused a turnover, and the Steelers actually won the turnover battle. We're +1 in the game. Picked off Kevin Kolb early in the game. That set the tone, I think, pretty much throughout the game. Would like to see the Steelers get more, but that is an improvement from last week when we didn't win the turnover battle against a team with a pretty bad offense. So this was definitely an improvement on that level as well. I will say this, the Steelers are beating the rent-a-win teams. That is positive at least. Could be indicative for at least another winning season. I don't know, I'm not going to be prepared to say that it'll be a playoff year yet because I think the Bengals, I know I got a comment in the last video, but the Bengals are a sleeping team now that they got rid of those pigs that inhabited that town, like Carson Palmer and Ocho Cinco and Tio. Now this team, with those young players and the quarterback Andy Dalton, I don't know, this is going to be a team to watch. This is an up-and-coming team. And I definitely think they're getting better, so I'll be interested to see what the Steelers will how the Steelers will match up against the Cincinnati Bengal team. However, looks good so far. I think the Steelers should be able to win at least one of those games, and at least go have a winning season. But like I said, it is too far down the road. Yeah, those are some of the bright spots, like I said. However, offensive line continues to concern me. A lot of people are bitching, saying it's Mendenhall's fault yesterday that they couldn't run the ball, but it was more on the offensive line. That's just going to be how it's going to be all year. The offensive line is not good. They are soft, in my opinion. I think they can't, because, and how they get hurt definitely is indicative of saying that they're soft. I think it's been a soft offensive line for many years now because offensive linemen keep getting hurt. And you know what? They're just going to have to get tougher. They have to, I don't know how to do it now because the NFL are babying the football players now and is turning the NFL into a league of wusses, in my opinion. But somehow the the defense, or not the defense, but the offensive line is going to have to do something to increase their toughness, because right now they don't have any toughness, and that is that should be a big concern, because that's why we have so many injuries every single week of the year. We're going to have to get offensive line people that actually are tough and actually can take some punishment, can get up, hat on hat, hand on hand, and are able to take defenders out of plays. We have not been able to do that for many years now, and that is part of the problem and why we can't run the football. I think Mendenhall tried to get some good plays down the field, run the football well, but the offensive line just stinks, and that is a problem. And that is why we are in the situation we are. I think it's more on that than Mendenhall. I know a lot of people are blaming Mendenhall, saying, no, this guy sucks. But, he did have 140 yards just last week against Jacksonville. That was actually a bright spot of the game. And this week, he didn't do too well, but like I said, I think it's more on the offensive line play, because notice, Ben was on his back too, and Redmond not too much better, and like I said, he pushed the Powell forward a couple yards, but he still could not get much on the ground, because the Arizona defensive line just overpowered the soft, injury-prone offensive line, because the offensive line is just not tough, and it's shown again with all these injuries that we are just not a tough offensive line. We are not physical. We are pretty soft and very feeble, and can easily be broken, and that should be a big concern. And defensively, it was a little bit better on that side of the ball. However, secondary concerns me, especially going into this weekend when we play New England. However, the run defense, for the most part, not bad. However, they can be better. They still gave up some big runs, but they did hold Arizona under 100 yards rushing. So I don't know what that's going to mean. But like I said, still stuff to be concerned, still stuff to be desired. This is still not great football, but you know what? I'm not going to be too mad about it. As I was last week, I was mad about how we won, because I thought we stunk last week. But this week, better. I did see improvements. We actually did cause a turnover. We actually, Ben Roethlisberger was pretty good throwing the football. So, like I said, stuff to be desired, like an actual healthy, strong offensive line. But overall, did get the W. The Steelers are now 5-2. However, the next 2 weeks are going to be very, very challenging. Next, we're going to have New England in Pittsburgh, and then we're going to have Baltimore in Pittsburgh. Both games in Pittsburgh. Baltimore will be a Sunday night game on NBC. This weekend, it will be a 4:15 game. And unfortunately, for all you Steeler fans out there, the anti-Steeler CBS broadcaster Jim Nantz will be there, so that will be definitely more to be desired there. But anyway, getting on to this game this weekend. The Steelers, like I said, I think they're in trouble, because like I said, a lot of the teams they barely beat. I think that really shows concern against teams like New England, because Baltimore already kicked our butts week 1 of the year, and we'll be in Pittsburgh here in another couple of weeks. But just that fact, and then how Houston kicked our butts, and I'm not even sure. Baltimore is very, very good this year, but Houston I'm still not sure about. So this is still a concern. And like I said, New England coming into Pittsburgh. So far Pittsburgh has been good at home. Won't take that away from them. However, New England I think is just too much for the Steelers, and I think New England's going to win. However, I did write a Facebook note. I don't think many of you are going to be able to see it. I'll post a link, but I think I might have, like I said, a lot of my profile settings have been blocked, so I don't know if you're going to be able to read it. But I did propose a game plan that the Steelers needed to do, or needed to do, if they wanted to win this football game on Sunday. And obviously it's a 6-part plan, and I'm not going to go into detail of what these things are. But I'll just say, basically, it's about ball control. It's about taking advantage of any possible early opportunities and getting a fast start. The secondary needs to stay with their man. Okay, because if they can stay with the man, then Brady will have nowhere to throw to. If you can keep up and keep up with the pace of the receivers, then they're going to have a decent shot at least slowing down Brady and his awesome passing attack. But you're going to have to stay with him. You're going to have to make sure that they don't run circles around you, and you got to stay with your man. You got to stay every step of the way with him, and you can't let him out of your sights. That's been a problem with the Steelers since last year. And like I said, against Aaron Rodgers, they had the same problem. They could not keep up with They could not keep up with Green Bay's receivers. Therefore, the Steelers got burnt, and they got burnt badly and lost the Super Bowl as a result. So we're going to lose again if we can't keep up and keep with our man. And also, that does remind me, speaking of the phrase keep up, I have a phrase: in a shootout, you got to keep up. Okay? Because this is going to be a shootout. Okay? There's no way around it. Unless the Steelers defense plays amazingly awesome this weekend, I think it's going to be a shootout. So therefore, the Steelers are going to have to keep up. The offense is going to have to keep up, and they're going to have to score every time New England scores. When New England scores, Pittsburgh has to score. When New England makes plays, Steelers got to make plays too. You got to keep up. In a shootout, you got to keep up. Okay, because if you don't keep up, then stuff's going to happen like what happened last year against New England, and we're going to get kicked. We're going to get our asses kicked, and that is just the way it is. You got to keep up. You got to keep with him. You got to stay on task. You got to score every opportunity, especially early. Especially early, you got to score and score and score, and you got to put the pressure on Brady to keep up. And the defense has to put pressure on Brady, speaking of which. Woodley has to get in his face. Woodley's having a good few games here after being called out by me and other Steeler fans who think he's done nothing. Well, now he's starting to pick it up. He has 7 sacks in, I think, 3 or 4 games. He's starting to get on task. And he and the other defensive linemen, the young defensive linemen like Ziggy Hood and Hoke and Kiesel, they're going to have to get in his face. They're going to have to rush the passer. They're going to have to rush Brady, because I've seen in games like when he played the Jets last year in the playoffs, when the reason they lost that game and the reason why they didn't score many points was because the Jets had him rattled because they were in his face. If the Steeler defense can get in Brady's face, then they can win, and they can get him rattled, get him angsty, and get him to throw bad throws, and maybe Pittsburgh can pick it off. I remember last year, we had a good game plan against the Patriots in 2004 when Roethlisberger was a rookie. They got him early. Roethlisberger had a touchdown pass to Plexico Burress. Got the ball back, had another touchdown pass to Burress, and then a pick 6 by Deshae Townsend. So this is what the Steelers need to do, and the Steelers need to do it well, and they need to really come out and they need to follow that game plan. I'll let you read more about it. I'll post a link. Hopefully it works. If not, let me know, but I hope it does, and then you can read what I got to say. Anyway, this is going to be it for this week. Hopefully the Steelers will win. I definitely want them to win. I think it'd be a great win for them. So I'm sick of beating up on them, so hopefully I won't have to do that after this past week, but I just don't see it happening. But anyway, I will see you next week, and stay tuned for more DVE videos, everyone.